Hello everyone, this is Sailesh speaking and this is the 450 final project. Today I'm going to talk about Python. Uh, Python was a hobby project created by Guido van Rossum in December 1989. It is a high-level programming language. It is an open source, object-oriented and functional language, which is easy to interface with C, Java, and Fortran. It is easy to learn due to its simplicity in syntaxes. Python can be used on a server to create web applications also. We can download Python from their official website, python.org. Some of the fundamentals of Pythons are the printing command is print, starts with a small letter P. Assignment uses equal sign and comparison uses double equal sign. Um, Logical operators are and, or, and not. Plus sign is used for string concatenation and percent is used for string formatting. Um, Variable types doesn't need to be declared because in Python it can figure out itself like what kind of variable it is. So we don't need to, for example, we don't need to say x equals 4. We don't need to say, when we say x equals 4, we don't need to let Python know that x is an int because it will know on its own that x is an int. Sequence types. There are three sequence types in Python, which are tuple, list, and string. Tuples are immutable. They are defined using parentheses and commas. For example, a equals parenthesis 1, comma 2, comma string a. Lists are they are mutable. We can make changes in order in list. They are defined using square brackets and commas. For example, a equals square bracket 1, comma 2, comma string a. And the strings are immutable also, same as tuple. And they are defined using single quote, double quote, or triple quote. Uh, Grammars in Python is same as a ruling name. It can be rule description or it can be another rule description. It starts with the statement, which can be simple statement or a compound statement. A simple statement can be a small statement, and a compound statement can start with if statement, while statement, for statement, try statement, class def, func def, decorated, and async statement. Um, in this class, we learn about LL1 grammar, which is left to right, leftmost derivation, one token look ahead. In Python, there are extra, um, which is no empty production, which means that like every rule has to be something that does not end in an empty string. In some level, and another one is in some level only the last alternative can be non-terminal. Parser generator in Python. Uh, Python has its own parser generator, which is EBNF, which stands for Extended Backness Norm. It is just a syntax for describing context-free grammar, which contains symbol and sets of recursive production rule. NFA is just a non-deterministic finite automata. This is just for like controlling the flow of graph in Python, and DFA is a deterministic finite automata. Uh, the compiler in Python is just a Python shell which acts both as a compiler and a IDE all in one together. So it is really easy to use. So we can download that compiler from the official Python websites. A simple code of Python can look like this, which starts with this is an example of multi-line comment with a triple quote. In Python, we can use triple quote to make multi-line comments and a hashtag for a single line comment. This is print hello world, as a simple print statement where we are giving variable x as a Python as a string, y is as a string, and z number as a string, and a is 1. And over here we're printing the value of x, y, z, and a all together combined using string concatenation. So if we in Python you cannot add numbers and string together, so we have to make a conversion of int to string. So that's why there is print x plus y plus z plus str, which is like converting, which is a string. Now we are converting into a string. So that's why it's the first one is hello world and Python is number 1, the second print statement. Some of the unique features of Pythons are in Python we can define function as starts with def, the function name, the parentheses, and the parameter it takes, x and y, followed by a semicolon. There is the indentation here. Python is really picky about indentation and white spaces. So, so the return statement actually returns whatever the value the function provides. So over here it gives us the sum of x and y. So when we define result as a function and we give its parameter 1 and 2, it will go inside the function. It will call it will call the function a function, and it takes 1 and 2 as a parameter and print our result 3. And the for loop in function starts like this for x in items, where item is a list of string a, b, c. So we say for x in items, just print x. It means like just print the value of list, each items in the value of list. And a while statement can look like this, where I equals 1. So there's a while statement and a condition, which is I is less than 6. And we have I is 1 already. We define I equals 1. So when we say while 1 is less than 6, which is true. So this statement is true. So it goes into the while loop. So print I, it will print 1. So what's going to happen is like first it's going to print 1. Then it will check the if statement. If we're comparing I to 5 now, but right now our I is 1. So if I equals, so 1 equals 5, that is not true, so it doesn't break through the loop. So it will continue here on the next line. So it will be like, so now here we're saying increment the value of I. So I was 1, it becomes 2 now. So it goes into the while loop again here. So now we are comparing 2 is less than 6, which is true. It will go again here. So it will print the value of 2. And again, same thing, it's not 2, 2 is not equals to 5. So it will skip this and goes into the next line, and 2 becomes 3 now because we're incrementing each time. So until it reaches to 5, so when it becomes I equals 5, so it will break out the loop and it will stop. It will just print us the value of 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, and in Python, a function can return more than one value as a tuple. For example, when we define a function, a simple function, and let's say it returns a number and a string. Okay, so a string is a name, my name right now. So now we give a variable number and name our function that we defined earlier. So what happens is like this number and name becomes whatever it is returning, whatever the function is returning. So if I print the function, uh, it will, if I just call the function and print it out, it will just give me a tuple where it has two returns, one and Sailesh, which is a name. But this is really good because let's say if I just want to print a name from a function like this. So I just call print name. Now, when I say print name, it will be just the name that the function throws. So yeah, this is really good feature of Python. So in conclusion, Python language is one of the most accessible programming language available because it is easy to learn and it has simplified syntaxes and which are not that complicated, due to which it is most people's first programming language, and it was my first programming language too. It was fun and it's really interesting programming language. It is simple yet more powerful programming language out there. Thank you.